Hi everyone, how are you all doing? So today's video is going to be a question and answer session. The reason I wanted to do this was, first of all, so you could learn more about me, who I am as a person, what I like to do, whatever questions you have, and also because I get asked a lot of the same questions. So I thought if I put them all together in a video, I can open myself up to you and you can learn a little bit more about me. So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, what keeps you motivated? I think generally that's a difficult question to answer because as we grow and as we change as people, and depending on the day, the week, different things can motivate us. But I know for myself, I have certain things that I can always rely on and I can always go to that are going to help me reach my goals, get through the day, overcome challenges. So number one is goal setting. I always have to recognize what my goals are, understand what my goals are, and then put in a plan. On a daily basis, I like to have 5-10 minutes where I just write down or even think about what my daily goals are and figure out how I'm going to get those completed, when's best to do them, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. And I feel it just gives me a little bit more clarity and direction to what I need to do that day. I always see it's good to have short-term goals and long-term goals, life goals, but I also think it's good to have those short goals. When I say those short goals, I mean smaller ones that are easier to achieve. And I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, but when you have like a list of tasks to do, when you start ticking them off, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're going to be more motivated to continue in that direction to achieve your goal. One thing I always say, if you change your mind about your goal, it's okay. If you decide you don't want to do this goal anymore, you want to head off in a totally different direction, it's okay. The why to your goal is the thing you really need to focus on. Now the why should be your why, no one else's why. Not your family's, not your friends, not your colleagues, not your boss. It should be your why. Your passion, your determination, all together creates that motivation to go out and achieve. The second thing I know that always keeps me motivated is what I call my support team. My support team can be my friends, my family, my colleagues, my mentor, somebody who I look up to for advice, and even the stranger who I pass in the street every day and we say morning to. All these different emotions that those people around you create is what keeps you motivated. The support team will be somebody who you feel you have trust in, and your values tend to be aligned, and you have that understanding of why you're achieving your goals, and it's give and take. You understand what your support team's goals are, they understand what yours are. So I always make sure I have those people around me that I know I can rely on for support and encouragement. And generally just to be there and have my back. And number 3 is perseverance. So I talk to myself, yes, and I tell myself, Victoria, okay, this is the obstacle, this is the challenge, but how are you going to overcome it? And I think that's something I learned a lot as an athlete, the perseverance, that things aren't always going to go to plan. I'm really grateful that I learned those skills, what I call skills and experience, so I can transfer it over into my life now. And I feel when you have perseverance, you have growth. And when you have growth, you can start to achieve your goals, you can come out of your comfort zone, and you can progress forward. So those are the 3 go-to things to keep me motivated. How did I feel after retirement? Retirement is a difficult decision to make, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're doing. But I feel as a professional athlete, it's one of those decisions where some people will just know. Others might take time for acceptance. And when I say acceptance, I mean for it all to register, for you to have clarity in your head. Because I know when I was making the decision, I was thinking, what are my family going to think? Am I letting them down if I then decide to stop being an athlete and move on to the next stage of my life? Also, what is my coach going to think? What are my training partners going to think? I really didn't want to let anyone down. So it's a decision that, yes, it takes time, but when you know, and you have to be 100% all in with that decision and understand that this stage of life is over, but the next stage is going to open up these doors to things you've always wanted to do, but maybe you could never do because there was so many sacrifices you were making for being an athlete. After retirement, the first thing I felt was relief. Relief I'd made the decision, relief I had the courage to decide and go ahead and say, yes, okay, now's the time. As individuals, we're always going to have that doubt that, is this decision the right decision? And I probably went through that phase for a little bit after retirement. I let it happen because I knew I needed to let it happen, but I didn't let it continue. And I set new goals for myself, new challenges, and I went with the flow. And I made changes when I needed to. But yeah, you have to really go for it, because I think in life there's no guidebook. There's no guidebook when certain events should happen. And this is what I always tell myself. How do I deal with criticism? Well, criticism for any person is difficult. Hearing criticism, hearing that feedback we don't want to hear is never easy. And I do find it difficult. But I've learned to, I would say, deal with it. I've learned to understand ways of changing my thought process when I'm viewing criticism. So first and foremost, I have to realize, is this criticism constructive or is it just nasty? I mean, we've all experienced criticism in life where somebody's just saying something because they're having a bad day, they're not happy with what they're doing, or maybe it's their personality. So once we define constructive criticism and unnecessary criticism, that's when we can move forward. When it's constructive criticism, yeah, it's still not good to hear at all, but we have to deal with it. And the one thing I say is, okay, this is criticism. Let's analyze it and let's learn from it. Take on these opinions, because as a person, we're not going to know everything. And sometimes an outsider's point of view can bring so much more knowledge, so much more benefit than actually what's going on inside your head. You know, you might think what you say and what you're doing is great, but there's always going to be somebody who knows more. And when we learn from each other, this is when we can really progress. If I wasn't a track athlete, what sport would I have liked to play professionally? For me, that's easy. Basketball. Basketball is something I played in high school, but it was never something I had the opportunity to go deeper into and progress further. Track came along, the opportunities with track came along, and I went for it. Basketball is something I like to watch. Basketball is something that's been with me from childhood. Athletics, I have athletics as an individual sport, and we had the team sport with the relay, but I always wanted to know what it was like to play a team sport where you were winning things as a team and always as a team. So basketball would be the sport that I would love to play. What inspires me as a coach? As a coach, I'm inspired by my clients. And I hope they know this. I tell them, but whether they 100% believe this, I'm not sure. So I'd like to tell them that yes, my clients inspire me, to see them change, to see them overcome challenges. They inspire me to improve on myself and to keep going in the direction I'm going in. And also the coaches before me, I've had some of the most amazing coaches ever. I've learned a lot from, and if I could be even one little ounce of a coach they were, then I feel like I'm succeeding. So those are some of the questions that I get asked regularly. If you have any more questions, I'll do more question and answer videos, so please send them through. And I hope you've enjoyed today. So comment, like, share, and I'll talk to you soon.